Hi all. I was asked to do this problem where you define the indicated derivative, where we're finding the derivative with respect to t of the quantity 5t minus 8 raised to the 6, all of that divided by t plus 6. So now to find the derivative of this function, we're going to have to use two of our rules, because first we see we have like a fraction for the function. So we know we're going to use the quotient rule because we have a function divided by another function. And then when we're finding the derivative of the numerator, well, we have that 5t minus 8, all of that raised to the 6th. So that's using the chain rule as well. So just a reminder of the quotient rule: if you have a function, let's call it u over v, then the derivative of that is the derivative of the bottom. Sorry, that's a comma, not so it's u over v. So that'd be the derivative of the top times the bottom minus the top times the derivative of the bottom, all divided by the denominator squared. And then for one version of the chain rule, which is sometimes called the generalized power rule, when you have one function, let's call it u, raised to a power, where it's all raised to that power, then the derivative of that is you multiply by that exponent, so multiply by that n, subtract 1 from that exponent, and then times it all by the derivative of the inside. So what we're going to do now, so finding the derivative of this, so be the derivative of that would equal to, let's see again, so we'd have the derivative of the top, so the derivative of this 5t minus 8 raised to the 6. So again, we have this function raised to the 6, so we're going to use this generalized power rule. So we'll multiply by the exponent, subtract 1 from the exponent, and then times the derivative of the inside, or the derivative of that 5t minus 8, that would just be 5. And then times the bottom function, so times that t plus 6, minus the top function, that 5t minus 8 raised to the 6, times the derivative of the bottom, so the derivative of the t plus 6, that would just be 1, because it'd be derivative of t would just be 1, and derivative of 6 would be 0. So the derivative of that would just be 1, all over the denominator squared, so that t plus 6, that quantity squared. Now we want to simplify this. Now the first thing is, let me multiply this 6 times 5, so we'd have 30 times that 5t minus 8 raised to the 5th times the t plus 6 minus that 5t minus 8 raised to the 6, all of that divided by the t plus 6 squared. Now the way you could simplify this is, if you notice, both of the terms in the numerator, so we have this big term here minus this other term here, both of them have the factor of 5t minus 8, and the smallest number of ones that show up is, like, we have 5 of them here, we have 6 of them here. So what we could do is we could factor out 5 of them from both of it. So we could factor out the 5t minus 8 to the 5th. And then when we do that, well, let's see, so from the first term we'd still have that 30. We'd have that t plus 6. And then minus, well, from the second term, well, we factored out 5 of these 5t minus 8, so we only have 1 of them left over, so we still have that minus the parentheses 5t minus 8. Don't forget that parentheses, because that you got to remember to distribute that minus sign. All over the t plus 6, that quantity squared. And then we're just going to simplify what's inside that bracket. So we'd have that 5t minus 8 raised to the 5th. And let's see, inside the bracket, let's distribute that 30. So we'd have 30t plus 180. And then distribute that minus sign, so it'll be minus 5t plus 8 all over that t plus 6, that quantity squared. And let's see, so then we'd have that 5t minus 8 raised to the 5th. And let's just see, so we'd have the 30t minus 5t, so that'd be 25t. 180 plus 8, so it'd be plus 188. all over that t plus 6, that quantity squared. Now we can't simplify this anymore because that 25t plus 188, there's no greatest common factor we could factor out. Nothing cancels, so this would be our final answer. We do not expect you to multiply that out because like that 5t minus 8, multiplying it by itself 5 times, that'd be ridiculous to expect you to do. And then even more than to multiply that by the 25t plus 188. So that would be your final answer for that problem.